listening to the Marketing in Yoga Pants podcast, a podcast in sisterhood for female entrepreneurs that serves up savvy, actionable marketing advice and interviews with creative business owners who are in the trenches, building their businesses as we speak. The Marketing in Yoga Pants community is for you, the girl on her couch, in her yoga pants, top knot tight, hunched over her MacBook, trying her hardest to get the word out about her business. So in the name of supporting each other while supporting ourselves, bringing community, sound marketing advice, coffee, chocolate, and wine together for you, yoga pants wearing business owner, in a world where followers mean nothing, but paying customers mean the world, join us on this week's podcast episode and in our private Facebook group where you'll meet your soul sisters and build your business in yoga pants. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Marketing in Yoga Pants podcast. I'm Brit and I'm here today with Jaclyn Patterson, co-founder of UnCo. Thank you so much for joining me today, Jaclyn.
Thanks so much, Brittany. I'm so excited to be here and talk to you.
Yes. So, okay, you guys, listeners, this is how Jaclyn and I met. We literally met 13 minutes ago when she got on the call. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. Jaclyn has co-founded this company called UnCo with the other co-founder, Kim. And I originally reached out to Kim after finding her in a Facebook group and saying, hey, I like the looks of this company that you're trying to build. And I think that you would be great to have on the podcast. What do you think? And Kim got back to me and was like, wow, this sounds like a great opportunity. Yes, let's do it. And because UnCo is in total startup mode, you know, things fall through and Kim couldn't make it today. Kim, we missed you. But her co-founder so graciously jumped in, and Jaclyn is here with us. So she's going to get to tell us about UnCo and where it all came from and their marketing strategy, what makes it all tick. So Jaclyn, you ready to jump in?
I am. I'm excited.
All right, let's do this. So first of all, tell me about how you earn your living.
Oh, it's exciting. I mean, what I would say is that, you know, each day is extremely different. So as you kind of just said too, like UnCo is definitely a very startup phase. So, you know, we're still learning, implementing, and actually just like, you know, making our business grow. Mm-hmm. So to be honest, like how we earn our living, like myself and my co-founder, Kim, we do actually, you know, have full-time jobs on the side, and our whole passion definitely lies with UnCo. But at the end of the day, like that's our goal, like to make UnCo a reality and to make that our full-time job for sure, just because we're ambitious and want to create impact in a positive way. So yeah, but at the end of the day, like the hustle is real, and you know, there's so many entrepreneurs and creators out there that, you know, have this dream and this you know, vision that they want to make a reality. But at the end of the day, like everyone has to get paid, right? And they have to make a living. So I definitely find my life very fruitful. Like I do a variety of things, whether that's working full time and working on UnCo with my passion involved. So but yeah, at the end of the day, like you gotta do what you gotta do when it's necessary, and at the end of the day, you have to pay the bills. So yeah.
Okay, so tell us what UnCo is all about. Tell us about the company.
Yeah, so UnCo, we provide capsule wardrobes for women. So basically it's 6 to 12 piece wardrobes that we can show you how you can wear them 20 to 40 different ways. And our whole kind of premise is that, and we show you exactly how to do that, so you don't really have to worry. Like we just style your whole capsule for you. But like really our whole premise is at the end of the day, if we can show you how to do more with less, you'll in turn buy less. And it's just kind of, you know, we're kind of trying to tackle the whole issue of excessive consumption, not only in the fashion industry, but like kind of in all industries, and just to kind of encourage people, especially women, to be a little bit more mindful of what they're consuming. But we really do think that can start with the closet for sure.
Absolutely. Okay. So are you're providing the service of showing them, what needs to be in their capsule and how to pair them. Are you also providing the clothing, or is it simply the service of capsulating your wardrobe?
Yeah, I know. So we definitely do provide the clothes. We actually
Okay.
outsource with a variety of brands so far in Canada. Yeah, like one of our main pillars and values as a brand is collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to work with these amazing brands across Canada that make responsibly made fashion, and we use them to help curate those wardrobes. So whether it's a 6, 8, or 12-piece wardrobe, we'll pick those pieces from those brands that we work with, and then we'll curate the wardrobe based on the client's needs from those brands. And at the end of the day,
Cool.
like, it just kind of helps to ensure like a more responsibly made wardrobe. And we also just really, going back to collaboration, we just really want to highlight these amazing brands that are doing really impactful things. A lot of them are women, like at least 75% of our brands are women led and women founded. So we're really about like creating a collaboration and a community with these brands, and
Mm-hmm.
actually really helping to highlight them as well and make them more accessible.
Awesome. I really love this. And
Yeah,
you guys are a Canadian startup, so that's where the other Canadian businesses come
definitely.
in, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because we even
Yes.
had the thought, like at the beginning, we actually like really thought about designing ourselves. Like when we first were thinking, oh, like capsules, like let's do this. We
Mm-hmm.
actually had a designer on board who was amazing, and we began kind of the design process. But then we had this kind of epiphany moment where there was like a high risk, and then also a lot of like not necessarily just like risk financially, but even just like with our demographic to see if those designs were going to work. And then that's when we had this epiphany. It's like, why are we trying to be another competitor for these brands that are already doing impactful things when we could just like
Mm.
work with them? So that's kind of where we decided to like change our way. And it was a big decision, but we're super happy that we went that route. And it's pretty fun. Yeah, it's great. We've met so many amazing people through the process as well. So,
I really like that. I really like
oh,
that
thanks.
facilitator connector thing. Obviously, that's a huge part of my story and what's on my heart to do. And so
Yeah,
it's inspiring
exactly.
to see you guys doing that between other business owners and the service that you provide. Uh,
Thank
Now, do
you.
you is it in your plan to continue for this to be an online company, or are you looking to have a brick and mortar? What does that look like?
Yeah, so right now, definitely the plan is to stay online.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of like just see the value in being online, so it's really accessible to anyone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we do like, yeah, definitely. We do really understand though, especially if you're buying like basically a whole wardrobe at once, there are, customers or women just out there that, don't feel as comfortable dropping like X amount on a wardrobe at once.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of how we're thinking in the future is to potentially do pop-up shops, or even like home parties or events where we can like allow people to really see more about the clothing and even try it on potentially, or even do pre-orders. So yeah, that's definitely kind of in the works. Like what's kind of fun about being an entrepreneur and actually owning your own company is like you can kind of experiment and do whatever you think works, and it's really
Mm-hmm.
fun that we get to have these opportunities. Like, yes, we want to stay online, but why not have an event if we want to, and like
Mm-hmm.
learn more about our customer that way. So yeah, but to answer your question, like overall, definitely online,
Mm-hmm.
especially because that's where the algorithm works. So even if we did like a pre-order with a client, we most likely have them still do the online questionnaire, because that is where the algorithm would work to curate their outfit combinations for
Okay,
sure.
so
So
they
yeah,
hop on your website and answer a bunch of questions about themselves, and that's how
yeah, create the
you've built
wardrobe.
the algorithm to then spit out, okay, this is what their capsule should probably include, right?
Exactly, yeah. And I will
Awesome.
say, like, that's like our plan and like our process right now. The algorithm's actually not like live. Like our website actually isn't yet shoppable, but it's mainly
Mm-hmm.
just because we just came out of our campaign phase where we
Mm-hmm.
received the funding to make that possible. So very soon, which is really exciting, and we really can't wait to have that up and running. So basically, we can see our vision come to life and really make the shopping experience really simple, but also responsibly made. So. Yeah.
Okay, so this is really exciting to me because I find that people come into your life at the right time, for the right, for specific reasons. And when I first found Kim in this Facebook group,
Mhm.
she had just randomly posted in the group, I think, just to kind of say, like what she was working on. And at the time, this was probably a couple months ago, at the time you guys were in heavy campaign phase, trying to fundraise, right? And
Yes,
get backing for building this vision. And I
definitely.
had personally just purged at least 75% of my closet, and I had
Wow.
gone and built my own capsule wardrobe. So
Amazing.
so it was just like perfect timing. I'm like, wait a second, this is
Yeah,
what you're doing. And I just did this.
I
I
just
just
did
went through
that.
the
Yeah.
whole process of trying to figure this out for myself, which was not easy. And so I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
this is a totally marketable thing that you guys are coming up with.
Yeah,
And
thanks.
then there
Yeah.
was that whole, facilitator and connector of those other brands. And so I love that, and I can definitely support the vision that you're growing. But it's really interesting to
Thank
hear that
you.
you guys both still have full-time jobs. So, in that respect,
Hmm. Yeah.
tell me the story of how you both have come to do this with your life at this stage.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, we will say like, we make it work, but we're definitely not perfect. Like we do, like we're at the end of the day, we're like real talks kind of thing is like we're entrepreneurs and the hustle's real. And that doesn't mean every day is easy. So,
No, yeah.
still having a full-time, yeah, like still having a full-time job and, working on your passion project that you want to make it reality on the side is actually exhausting. Like it's just so honest, to be honest. So, yeah, but like, every day, like, we strive to have a balanced lifestyle, but I think it's important to kind of like recognize, um, your needs or when you need to just be self-aware of like what you need to do. So even if like,
Mhm.
you just had a really busy week and that Friday night you actually take the Friday off and make time for what really matters at that moment. But I will say like kind of how we stay organized and on top of things is we just have great communication channels. So we use a lot of um, like online channels like Slack or even the app called Flow, which just helps us stay organized. So that when we
Mhm.
are working, it's a little bit more efficient and productive. But also just having a team. So, Kim and I did co-found the company, but we do have like a small team with us as well that just helps like speed the process of everything.
Mhm.
And, I really having a team is grounding, but then also just super beneficial because you're surrounding yourself with like positive people that are like-minded as well. But at the end of the day, like it's so much more joyful and even more efficient just to have a team on board because if it was just Kim and I doing everything, it'd be a lot more stressful, um, a lot more time consuming, and even just deliverables that we have or goals we make for ourselves would just be extended like all the time
Yeah.
because it is what it is. And yeah, but I do think finding balance in life is like our goal for sure. I don't think we're quite there yet, both of us, but personally, like it's something that I definitely want to achieve, and I think it will be achievable when we can rely on UnCo more to be like our primary job potentially. But kind of like advice that I would say for those that are maybe hustling and finding it really exhausting is just be self-aware. Like at the end of the day, it will get done. You just if one day is just not a good day, take some time to just focus on you and do what's really important, whether that's like just relaxing or some self-care. It is really important in the long haul, in the long run of things. Is like health is really important, and like as
Mhm.
well, if we're not healthy, we won't do our best work. So
Right.
it is really important to just take care of yourself. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
for sure.
how did you and Kim meet? And then what's the story of how this whole idea started to take form?
Yeah, for sure. I love telling that story because it's really funny. So, well, it's not that funny. I think it's kind of hilarious. But yeah, we actually did not know each other at all before. Um, and we actually met through a good mutual friend that we both had named Jess. And she just kind of introduced us at a time. And kind of how everything unfolded was I was approached by Jess to connect with Kim because at the time Kim was running her own sustainable t-shirt company, and this was just actually like around a year ago. Like we only met around 1 year. It's funny how close you can become with one person if you spend like that much time with them.
Mhm.
But we met 1 year ago, and Kim was looking to help grow her sustainable t-shirt company, which was based in Ottawa. And at the time, like, I was working full time in luxury retail fashion, and it was a good experience. But at the time, I was like looking for something to do more creative work and just kind of fulfill my passion. And
Mm-hmm.
so she decided to take me on board to help with marketing and like business growth. And it was a great experience. So I actually ended up working on that company with her for quite a few months, and it was successful. Like, we definitely had a successful company. Like, we had over 40K in revenue over the course of the 2 years, and over like 60 ambassadors in our program. So it was really exciting, and we had a good time. But kind of how it unfolded to UnCo is that we particularly had this epiphany moment where we realized, was this actually contributing to the problem we were trying to solve, and that problem being consumption. And
Mm-hmm.
we were selling sustainable t-shirts and lifestyle apparel, which was awesome. Like, people were making that ethical decision. But at the end of the day, they were still consuming more. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
did they really need this t-shirt? Like, was that add value to your life and to your
Right.
wardrobe?
Yeah.
So yeah, we made like a really tough decision to actually just like close that business down, just because it wasn't contributing to our solution really. So and then before we closed the company down, that's when we decided like what would actually be a realistic solution, and how can we like contribute positively to society.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we thought of the wardrobe. So that was kind of like last fall, like early fall, late August.
Mm-hmm.
And the implementation started for that. And Kim and I were both equally as passionate about the idea, and like really, um, even wanted to see if there was like a demographic need for it. And then that's when we started planning. So up until March 2017, that's when we decided to launch officially. And so since then, it's just been over like 6 months of UnCo. And yeah, we're doing well. We've succeeded Indiegogo campaign, which is exciting. And we're implementing our first like customers that have bought capsules. So it's really, really exciting. It's all very new, still a really
Mm-hmm.
fun process. But yeah, it's just funny because yeah, we really didn't know each other before at the end of the day. But it just goes to show that, if you find the right person that shares your passion and even like your ambition, you can really do cool things. So it's kind of fun.
That is a great story. And I love getting this interview in right at this stage, because you've just finished out your Indiegogo campaign is now closed, right? Like, you're done with that
Yeah,
first campaign, and you're just bringing
definitely.
in your first couple of clients to actually go through this
Yeah,
vision, this thing that's been really a vision up until now. And you are
yeah.
just like smack dab in the beginning startup phase, which is so cool.
We are.
It's not
Oh my
often that you
God.
get to hear an interview right there, because usually it's you're hearing from them after they've gone through at least, their first year of like maybe profit or something, and you don't get to talk to them right in the middle of
Yeah.
it. So I would love to dive
Yeah, good
into
point, actually.
yeah, so I would love to dive into that a little bit. It's probably
For
all very
sure.
raw for you, because it's like, yeah, I'm in the
Yeah,
middle of it and it's for real.
yeah, it's
But
very
tell me,
fresh, for
yeah,
sure.
super fresh. Tell me about uh, in this stage of the game, who are you attracting to your business um, for
Mhm.
these first couple of clients? Are you hand selecting them, or did you put a call out? How did you get them kind of into your circle so you can test this idea out?
Yeah, for sure. So, prior to doing our Indiegogo campaign, we did actually recruit some beta clients. So we
Mm-hmm.
had 3 clients that we want to recruit, basically to just test our capsules. So before we even went to our market, we could see if it actually worked, and then
Yeah,
even if,
smart.
yeah, just to kind of like test the waters and kind of see what challenges we would face that we might not have foreseen. And these ladies that we connected with are all really impactful. So like one of them is Sheena Brady, who works at Shopify and also has her own tea company. So she's a CEO and founder as well. And then
Wow.
like we have Kaylee Reed, who runs Wear Your Label out east. And then also Alana Benary from 21 Toys. She's the CEO and founder of that company as well. So basically, they're just three really inspirational ladies that are doing really impactful things. And we really wanted to recruit them because they're all extremely busy and they all are doing amazing things on the everyday, but might not have the time to spend focusing on their wardrobe, but
Mm-hmm.
still understand like the importance of needing to look good and feel good in their workplace, especially in like a male dominated industry. If you're like usually an entrepreneur, there's a lot of competition, even just gender wise in that kind of area. So yeah, like it's really like one of our values is just to make sure women feel good about
Mm-hmm.
themselves in whatever capacity that means. So yeah, these amazing ladies tested out our capsules, and it's been a great experience. But at the end of the day, kind of for our Indiegogo campaign, who we were kind of targeting and marketing our idea towards is women in business. So those that are like working professionally, but then also so specifically women in tech, because we find tech culture really relates to what we're providing. So
Mm-hmm.
some of our capsules can be a little bit more casual and some a little bit more dressy. So it
Mm-hmm.
does depend on the occasion, kind of what you do for work. But we do find women in tech, they're the ladies that are, working around the clock. They're in a male dominated industry. They're, kind of contributing positively to society. But then we just find even their work culture that they are surrounded in is a little more go go go. So we just find that they are definitely part of our target market. But at the end of the day, like we really find that a capsule wardrobe can be of value to so many women out there. It doesn't really matter your industry or what you're doing for a career. It just depends kind of like what kind of wardrobe you want and how it can add value to your life. But we do consider like the versatile aspects in mind. So making it take you from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. But
Mm-hmm.
specifically for the campaign, we just wanted to kind of reach the working woman, the women entrepreneur, women creators, innovators, all just kind of doing impactful things to society, so they can really spend less time focusing on what to wear and more time on what really matters.
Yeah, and I think you just hit it. Of course you did, because I'm sure you've spent so much time on client profiling and spending time
Yeah.
with your betas and all of that. But that really
Mm-hmm.
rings true. It's not necessarily a demographic. It's more of a psychographic, someone that
Mm-hmm.
is just in this headspace, and super smart to focus on the tech industry, because you're right. Tech is already, that culture is already geared towards
Mm-hmm.
minimalism or intentional living, that sort of thing.
Definitely.
And so that was super smart. In my experience, I got on the capsule wardrobe train, if you will, a few months ago,
Mm-hmm.
because I I realized that my needs were just so much less than what I had. I mean, when I'm
Mm-hmm.
only pulling out a few pieces anyway, and I have all of
Yeah.
these other clothes that I'm just simply not wearing. Like, they don't light me up. They're
Yeah.
not they're not anything to me other than usually like a negative force in my life. Like, oh, I can't fit into
Yeah.
that. Or I think that one time I took a picture in that and it just didn't, I did wrong angle or something. So I'm not going to wear
Yeah.
that again. And it's like, why am I keeping this
Exactly.
negative energy around me? Why? There's
You're
no
100%
there's no
correct.
reason for it. Um,
Yeah.
and then even as a work from home entrepreneur, uh, I still want it to be super easy to put on clothes that feel good to me. Yes, sometimes that looks like
Mm-hmm.
yoga pants and a sweatshirt. Okay. But
That's
sometimes it
totally fine.
also sometimes that also looks like a really pretty simple comfortable dress. Or
Yeah.
and then sometimes there are going to be, I travel, and then okay, what do I wear then? I can't just always wear black leggings, right?
Yeah.
So I just decided, you know what, I'm at that age, like I can get rid of all the old clothes and bring in new, but intentionally bring in new.
Yeah.
And so you,
Yeah.
you again hit it on the head with, like, it's really more of where you are at in your head than
Exactly.
where you are in your industry or even in your career, I think. So that's
100%. Yeah.
yeah. So I love that that's
Yeah.
where your focus is. I think you guys are gonna do
Thanks.
you guys are gonna do really well. I know you are.
Thanks so
I'm really
much. That
excited
really means
to
a lot.
to
Oh,
spread the message to anyone listening and the members in the Facebook group, because I think that they're gonna want to support this as well. Um,
Thanks so
So
much.
yeah, you're welcome. So
Hmm.
obviously, the next thing that I usually ask my guests is like, what are you working on right this second? And we kind of went through that. It's okay, campaign is done. Now we're getting the first flow of clients in and then using that campaign money to bring this vision to life. What kind of
100%.
goals do you guys have set for maybe the end of the year or 2018? Bring me into that vision from here on out.
Hmm. Yeah, so major goal is just to ensure that like our current capsule orders are like 100% satisfied. So
Mm,
from our campaign, we came out with 17 capsules purchased, which is pretty amazing. I don't know, that's like our first time we've ever had like sales, like real sales.
yeah.
So yeah, like the next, I know the next like month and a half is definitely focusing on that and just ensuring even their process upon receiving is still a very positive experience.
Mhm.
But then post that, it's just about growth, like right now we have 10 designers on board and they're amazing. Like a lot of them, they're all across Canada. So like some local brands in Toronto are Cassandra Elizabeth. We have Kaz Clothing. We have Yoga Jeans. And then kind of across Canada, we have Belle and Tony from out west, and then even Montreal Odalo. So these brands are amazing. But at the end of the day, we do want to focus on growing the amount of designers we have on board, just
Mm,
because it provides a little bit more selection. And as we grow our customer base, we need to have like more selection to choose from, just so that
mhm.
not everyone looks the same. It's
Right.
important that everyone has more. Yeah, imagine if we're all wearing like kind of similar looking capsules. We don't really want that. But so at the end of the day, it's important that people have selection to choose their specific style, like what works for them, so they can like identify themselves in that way. But yeah, so big goal we have is just to grow our designers. That's definitely something we have as a goal in 6 months by January to grow it at least double. Like we'd love to do it even more, just to kind of have that opportunity. And then as well, like I think they like from a really real talk standpoint is funding, because we did just come out of this amazing campaign, but at the end of the day, like if the more funding we have, it just gives us more opportunity to speed the process and just kind
Mhm.
of nail it on the head. Like get everything going.
Mhm.
So that's also a goal we have. But yeah, I think that it's just growth and attaining more customers and growing our designer platform for sure.
So I have two questions. First one, are you looking for angel investors, or are you continuing to go with like the group funding method? Where is your focus at with the funding now?
Yeah. So right now, like we're kind of gonna probably do more grants in the meantime and just see kind of
Hmm.
what works for our business. Definitely, we see the value of investors. We won't be at the stage necessarily to pitch and kind of go in that route until we have our algorithm up.
Hmm.
But that's definitely kind of how we foresee the future. If all goes as planned, we definitely would be interested in investors. Because
Cool.
definitely see the value for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my second question was, I pulled out a little funny thing that you, at this stage, you probably, because you've been in the industry for so long, you might just like, well, yeah, duh. But here's something that,
Stop.
well, here's something that, like, when I first started studying capsule wardrobes and like what mine could look like, I thought at first that pretty much when you go capsule wardrobe, it's all like black, gray, white, and blush color, right? Because you see all those pins
Mhm.
on Pinterest and like that's all you see.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you just said our goal is to make it so not everyone's wearing the same thing. And
Mhm.
that's one of the things that I learned through studying it was that no, I mean, a capsule wardrobe doesn't have to be that same black, gray, white, monotone sort of
Exactly.
thing. It's very much more developed based on your personality and what your wardrobe needs to be for you. And
Mhm.
so tell me about that. Like, how does that come into the algorithm of like who you are and your personality, and what can a capsule wardrobe be for an individual? That might be like a little turned off by the monochromatic
Mhm.
typical thing that people think of when they think of capsule wardrobes.
Yeah, for sure. You're so right, Brittany. Like at the end of the day, most people, like there's like kind of a stigma with capsules being like very neutral tones. And like I
Mm-hmm.
will say, like we definitely do incorporate a lot of neutral tones into capsules just because they are really adaptable and versatile. But it's so true. Like at the end of the day, you could be someone that like loves color and just literally has a colorful capsule. Like you might have
Mm-hmm.
like no white, no gray, maybe a pair of black pants, and then like a variety of beautiful colors.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just personal preference, and how it kind of works for our algorithm when it's up and running will be definitely questions about personality. So like, how does your personality reflect in your wardrobe? So like, do you like color? Do you like wearing bright clothes, or are you like more into like navy? We do have color palette options, so we will have like different palettes available, and just to ask kind of what kind of palette attracts you the most, and that way it kind of just gives us an idea like what kind of look they're going for. But yeah, so it's just really how they choose to style it, and how we curate it. So they could
Mm-hmm.
have no neutrals and it still all work and go together, or they could have all neutrals. So
Yeah.
and that's like the beauty too of our algorithm. It will show exactly how many outfit combinations you can make from your pieces that you select kind of in your capsule selection process. But yeah, at the end of the day too, like there is a great opportunity, like let's say you and I have the same capsule, which would like probably never happen. We probably still style it very differently, right?
Yeah.
So, we could be wearing the exact same outfit, but it would look completely different. We like similar things, but our style is like completely different. So like
Right.
it's very drastic how different it is. It's hilarious. But yeah, so it just kind of shows like however you choose to style something as well, like what accessories, shoes, even comes down to hair and makeup, will look completely different on someone else as
Mm-hmm.
well. But yeah, it's exciting, and that's like what excites us about getting more designers on board as well, is just to kind of have that more of an option to curate different types of capsules as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you guys are behind the scenes doing the work to then not only curate the capsule, but then show someone how to
Right.
style it.
Yeah.
Which is really great, especially for probably your busy ideal client. Like they see the value
Yeah.
in a capsule wardrobe, gives you less options, declutters everything, but at the same time
Yeah.
going that next step of then showing you actually how to wear the pieces, because they don't want to go to that. They don't want to have to do that. Like after all that, they want to be able to just be
100%.
like, okay,
All
so
right.
now
That's
just
so
style
much
me.
work.
Yeah, it's way too much
Yeah,
work. It's so much work.
exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
And like someone might have a capsule with like a blue top and a red pair of pants. It might be like, oh my gosh, how do I wear this together? And we'll show them that it's possible,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the stigma, of neutrals doesn't have to be the only option. But
Right.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think
Thanks.
also my best friend is gonna love this too. Ani, she's
No
probably
way.
listening. She's gonna love this. She's huge into fashion,
Hi,
and
honey.
I've learned everything I know about fashion, which is very little, just because I don't have a capacity for it. But everything that I have learned has definitely been from her, and my love for Black
Oh,
clothing has
amazing.
definitely come from her too. All right, so
I love black too. Don't worry.
yeah.
You're
Okay.
not alone.
Yeah. All right. So let me find where we're at here. So I want to ask just a couple super easy questions. And they barely relate to business or whatever. But I'm just curious, where has been your favorite place that you've traveled to?
Oh my gosh. I love traveling actually, just on a side note. I mean, I think most people do, but 2 years ago I went on like a 5-week Europe trip,
Hmm.
and my favorite place was definitely Greece. Like I just loved it. Like I haven't been that many places, but definitely Greece. Just because I love the food. It was like paradise island, and just really beautiful and relaxing. So
Hmm.
yeah, definitely loved Greece. I can't wait to go back already.
Very cool. All right. What is your favorite way to learn? Do you like to listen? Do you like to read? Do you like to get your hands dirty? How do you learn best?
I definitely like to get my hands dirty. If someone puts me on the spot to just try something, like I don't necessarily expect for it to be perfect the first time always, but like how it worked. But definitely, I think it's just be beneficial for me to just jump into things and
Hey,
test it out.
just a second, Jaclyn. We're having
Okay,
some, you're
no
like in
worries.
and out. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
No,
All
I
good.
definitely think it's we have really weird weather going on today here. And so,
Same here, actually. So don't worry.
okay, I didn't hear any of your answer. So we're just gonna go back and we're gonna
Okay,
ask that question again. Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Kind of awkward, but we'll get through it. Okay.
No,
So,
it's all good. All good.
okay, so next question. Tell me, what is your favorite way to learn? Do you like to listen? Do you like to read? Get your hands dirty? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, I definitely love to get my hands dirty. I think it's just fun to get into things, and kind of how I see it is, if you try and it doesn't work, you learn something. If you try and it does work, you still learn something. So, might as well just get into it, and it's kind of fun that way, and it's a different experience, I guess. Every time it's different. So.
And that's probably the perfect mindset to go into startup world because
Yeah.
you
Oh my God, you're right. Actually,
at
yeah.
some point you've got to just get
Wow.
your hands dirty and just do it because
Yeah.
you can't have when you're a startup you can't have everything figured out. You can't. There's no way.
Yeah, no, you really can't. It's actually like impossible unless you have like years and years of experience. But even at that point, I still don't think you know everything because it's just a
Yeah,
new thing.
every day.
Yeah,
And you know what?
every day.
I wasn't thinking about this question, but now I am. Tell me the dynamics that between you and Kim. Like, do you guys tend to have opposite strengths and complement each other, or do you tend to have kind of like the
Mhm.
same zone of genius and you outsource the other stuff? What does that dynamic look like?
Yeah, so we actually are like pretty opposite, which is partially why we think it actually works really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like we come from really different backgrounds. Like I have education in fashion and business, and then Kim in project management, but also international development. So definitely like really different educational backgrounds, but even
Mm-hmm.
just kind of interests a little bit too. So it does really work well in the sense, we do share basically everything with each other. Like we run things by each other constantly, and we're definitely involved in each other's responsibilities. But we do kind of like separate roles just to kind of, not roles, but just tasks to kind
Mm-hmm.
of ensure that, we're being efficient, but then also that whoever's maybe more suited to do something will do it really well and maybe better than the other. So, which is like really fun. But at the same time, like I learn a lot about what she does. So she'll definitely do more project management. She kind of focuses on business growth and funding, whereas I definitely specialize more in the capsule curation, the designers, and the styling aspect as well. But we're both really involved with marketing and business growth in terms of customer acquisition and stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think it's really beneficial to have kind of opposite backgrounds or just opposite interests or talents. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying like if there were two founders that have very similar things, I'm sure they could still make it work. But I think it's just like kind of an added value that we just happen to not be super similar in that sense,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's efficient and we learn from each other constantly, which is pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. That probably is added value. I hear that, I hear that in all sorts of partner interviews on podcasts. It's like it seems like either they have opposite backgrounds, opposite skills, or just opposite ways that they look at the world. And while that may
Mm-hmm.
create butting of heads every once in a while, most of the time it's just so great for business. So that's good that it's good to hear that that's
Yeah.
going on for UnCo. Um, okay, so
Thanks.
I have one more question before we wrap up. You guys have really just started out, and so it you are truly often, I'm sure, that girl on her couch, hunched over her MacBook, just trying to figure stuff out.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
but I still want to ask, if you could look back on day one of deciding, you and Kim deciding, hey, we're going to go for this, we're going to do it. What would you say to yourself and Kim in that moment of like, okay, we're going to do it? What kind of advice do you have for Jaclyn back then?
Oh, fine. I love this. So definitely, I'd probably say to plan a little more strategically, because I think, this has been my first time being an entrepreneur kind of thing. And in terms of what I mean by strategic planning is like timeline.
Okay. So Jaclyn, before we go, I would love for you to tell the listeners where they can find UnCo online so they can check you guys out.
Perfect. Yeah. So where you can find UnCo is if you go to our website, it's uncoofficial.com, and that's where you can get connected to what we're doing right now. You can sign up for our mailing list where we post a lot of fun updates and kind of things that would add value to your life. And then as well, all of our social networks. Yeah. We love being engaging with the community. Like we love talking to our followers. I think it's really important. So definitely would love people to connect, reach out, and so we can get to know you better.
Awesome. And how can we at this time, this podcast will air sometime in September or October. How can we support you guys right now?
Mm-hmm. So in the fall, at this time, we're kind of just wanting to get to know more customers and just kind of see who else would really see the value in a capsule and how we can help curate their capsule. So basically, if anyone out there is interested in getting a capsule, definitely reach out to us. And as well, at this point is kind of when we're going to be doing some pre-sales and whatnot for spring. So now's a great time to connect with us and just see how we can get you a spring capsule and change your life a little bit in a great way. So yeah.
I love that. You did that really well, by the way. And you know what?
I was like, that's kind of hard.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm wondering? Do any of your designers right now have a yoga pant on their line? Probably not, because it's mostly professional and semi-casual.
No, potentially, actually. You know what? Potentially. Like, I think, I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's like a yoga. Actually, yeah, we do have one. Yoga Jeans does one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, definitely. I heard you say Yoga Jeans. I'm like, wait, ooh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So we might.
Oh gosh, I forgot. Yeah, they definitely have a yoga pant.
Okay, that's important. Because you know what, yoga pant. There are so many different brands and everything, and typically they're. I assume because they're easy to create, they're usually at mass and not ethically sourced. Yeah. So it's important to know where we might be able to find some that are good quality and good brands. So all right, girls, you heard her. Go check UnCo out, send them some love, support them if you can, and hop into our private Facebook group where we can expect to hear from Jaclyn and Kim over the next few days. Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Marketing in Yoga Pants podcast. Keep the conversation going by visiting marketinganyogapants.com/Facebook, where you'll get to join that private Facebook group I've been talking so much about. There, you'll get to chat with our podcast guests. Yeah, they're in there too, and all of the other brilliant creative business owners. We're connecting, we're meeting our soul sisters, and we're building our businesses, all while in yoga pants. So come hang out with us. Again, visit marketinganyogapants.com/Facebook to get in. And one more thing. If you dig this podcast, would you be awesome and share it with someone? This entire Marketing in Yoga Pants movement is nothing without its community. So please share. And if you're really feeling the love right now, jump into iTunes. You're probably already there if you're listening to this right now. And leave us a rating and review. The more of those we rack up, the more the podcast will be found by ladies like you, and the stronger this community becomes. This episode was edited and produced by the Podcast Engineers. They're pretty great, so go find them at podcastengineers.com. This episode was also brought to you by my online marketing agency, Jam Marketing Group, and you can find us at jammarketinggroup.co. That's all for now. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you back here next week on the Marketing and Yoga Pants podcast. Love ya. Bye.